Today we're going to instruct you in balance and strengthening exercises as a means of fall prevention. But before we go through the specific exercises, I want to discuss a little bit about your motivation for doing these, beginning these programs, but also continuing with them. There's new research that just has shown that fall prevention programs are very effective, but they need to be done on an ongoing basis. So some of you may have noticed that in the last couple years, maybe you're having a little more difficulty walking, maybe you feel like your balance is off, you're having a little more difficulty getting out of a chair. That could be a part of what we call normal aging. We know that we lose, beginning at age 50, we lose 10% of our strength. This increases more rapidly after age 70. We can lose up to 40% of our strength in our quad and our hip muscles by just the mere fact of aging. Once you lose 30%, we know that you're going to have some difficulties with functional things like, again, getting up out of a chair, doing stairs. And so we have exercises that are going to address those specific muscles. The other one that could be a motivator for you is what we call usual aging. Maybe you've had a hospital stay recently, you're dealing with a chronic illness. For some reason, your activity level has decreased. This could facilitate more of that decline along with the normal aging, and so you want to do some exercises to get your strength and endurance back. A third motivator could be fear of falling. We know that falls are the leading cause of fatal and non-fatal injuries in Nebraska. One fall by yourself or a family member can change your life and impact the life of your family around you. And the last one is the loss of independence. Everybody wants to live a healthy and active lifestyle, and you don't want to lose that independence because you're not able to get up and go to the bathroom, to work in the kitchen, and do your daily activities. One of the things I like to say is my goal for everybody is that we age successfully. That we know aging happens with all of us, but we can do things to prevent some of that risk factor for falling by doing these exercises. Now Mary's going to talk to you a little bit more about the exercises.
Our balance system or balance exercises are based on a neural mechanism that integrates three systems: our eyes, our ears, and our feet. Our eyes will help give us an orientation of the horizontal. Our ears will help to sense movement of our head on our body. And then our feet will help us when we're on an uneven or unstable surface. Now these three senses will work together and send signals to our brain, and our brain in turn sends signals to our body to help us maintain our balance. For example, if you're walking uphill on gravel and you look up at an airplane, those three systems will help send signals to your brain, and then your brain in turn sends signals to the postural muscles so that you don't fall over or lose your balance. Now the key is that that system has to be challenged on a regular basis though to stay fine-tuned. On the other hand, strengthening exercises have been shown through recent research to improve the fall risk, decrease your fall risk in the 65 and over population, and actually decreased the number of falls that people experienced. About 31% demonstrated a decreased risk for falls, and actually by doing that combination of strengthening and balance exercises, it was found to be the best way to decrease your long-term risk of falls. Now many of you maybe like to do a walking program, and we highly encourage that. We never discourage that. That's a great way to exercise, but that alone won't fine-tune this balance system. You need specific challenges to do that, and that's what we'll be working on.
As we go through these exercises, we want to make sure that you're using good, proper form. And the reason is that you want to get the most benefit from the exercise. If you do the exercise and you don't use proper form, you're actually not probably strengthening the correct muscle. Also, we want to make sure that you prevent any type of injury. And so what is proper form? One of the things we want you to use is you can use your kitchen counter or a sturdy table such as this, or a chair that you can hold on to so that you can ensure that your balance is okay. We want to make sure that you don't hold your breath. That can increase your blood pressure. So as you're relaxing, take a deep breath in. As you're exercising, blow out. And that just allows you to make sure that you don't hold your breath. And then the last one is so important. We want you to do the exercises slow and steady. Don't try to rush through them. The technique is just the most important thing.
we want to talk a little bit about frequency. What's important to get the benefits is to really be consistent with these exercises. We recommend maybe try to do them 5 days a week and take 2 days for rest. Plan ahead so you know what days you're going to rest, and you'll be more successful at being consistent with them. You don't have to do all of the exercises at the same time. You could do several in the morning and the rest in the afternoon. Work them into your life, work them into your schedule so that you can be successful. Intensity. These exercises should not cause any pain. If you have any pain with any of the exercises, you want to just hold on that exercise until your next class session, and that exercise can be modified for you. Time and duration. We will be giving some recommendations on what number of repetitions to start with, and then recommendations on how to increase and progress those exercises.
We will be also giving modifications to the exercises. You may notice after you do them for a couple of weeks, they start to get a little easier. Muscles need to be challenged. You can't do the exact same exercises the same way every day. We need to challenge them. So we're going to give you some modifications if they're too easy. We'll show you how to progress that. We'll also give you modifications if it's too hard. If you've been ill or you've had any life changes, you may need to modify your program and back up and do just a few less repetitions till you get your endurance back up. If you have any hip, back, or knee pain or recently had a total hip, we will try to show you on certain exercises what modifications you can do. Otherwise, you may want to talk to your instructor and they can give you some modifications as well. So we're going to start going through some of the exercises, and with each exercise, I'm going to talk to you about what the purpose of that exercise is. We're going to discuss proper technique, the number of repetitions, and then we'll give you modifications if it's too easy or too hard. So the first exercise we're going to start with is the standing heel raise. And the purpose of this exercise is to be able to get a push-off while you're walking. It's also important that you can reach up into a cupboard, or it also helps you on stairs. So proper technique, we want you to hang on to the table, kitchen counter, or a chair. And what you're going to do is you're going to push up onto your toes, lift your heels up and down. Important with this exercise is that you don't rock yourself forward, that you push straight up. So what we're going to do is we're going to do 8 repetitions of this exercise.
5.
That's 6, 7, 8. Now, if this is too hard, what you can do is you can sit down in the chair. You can do the exact same exercise. Just lift your heels up. This is an easy one you can do while watching TV. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, if this is too easy, what you can do is stand by your kitchen counter again, and you can increase the repetitions to do, let's say, between 15 to 20 repetitions. Or if you want to get a little bit of a balance in challenge with it, just hover your hands above the table. Go ahead and marry it up and then down. The next one we're going to do is a standing toe raise. And the purpose of this exercise is to be able to pick up your toes while you're walking. Many times you'll see people, as they age, they'll begin to walk and do a little bit of a shuffle. This allows you to pick your feet up and do more of a heel-toe walking pattern. This ensures that you do not trip when you're walking on carpets or anything like that with rugs, or if you're out walking in the grass or on gravel. So it's a really important exercise. So what Mary's going to do is she's going to hang onto the counter with one hand, and I'm going to have her lift up one toe at a time and pull it up. The reason I do one at a time is that a lot of times if you try to do both, people will tend to rock back then versus use their muscles. That's 6, 7, 8, 1. So you're going to do 8 repetitions of this exercise as well. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If this gets too easy, again, what you can do is increase the repetitions to 15 to 20. Or if you want that balance challenge again, just kind of hover your hand above the kitchen counter and do the exact same exercise. If it's too hard and you don't feel very safe and secure, go ahead and sit back in the chair again. And you're just going to do the same thing, lift your toe up, but again, do one at a time so you can really concentrate on pulling up that toe. Okay, the next exercise we're going to do for strengthening is a side leg raise. Mary, I'll have you come around here. And this is the purpose of this exercise is to strengthen the muscles on the hips on the lateral side. This is important for walking, for being able to go upstairs, step up a curb. Many falls are lateral falls, and so this is a very important muscle that you want to exercise and work with. So Mary's holding on with two hands. What she's going to do is lift her leg out to the side, keeping her toe pointed forward about 1 to 2 inches off the floor. 3. We're going to do the 8 repetitions of this. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then go ahead and step to the other leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If it's too easy, you can just increase the repetitions, or you can add a 1.5 to 2 pound weight on your leg and then do the same thing and begin with the repetitions. If it's too hard, what you can do is just do a tap where you bring your leg out and in. And so that way you don't have to lift it as high. Again, let's say if you've had a total hip replacement or have some hip problems, this would be an easier way to do this exercise. The other option you also have, if you can't do it standing up, is you could do it laying down in your bed and just bring your leg out to the side and in. It works the same muscle, but it just avoids gravity. The next exercise is what we're going to do is a standing knee raise. And the purpose of this exercise is important for being able to pick your leg up, to step up on a curb, to get your leg into a car. Also, if you're stepping up into a bathtub, to be able to get your leg up that way. And so what we're going to do is Mary's going to lift her leg up to hip level, hold, 2, and then down. And lift up, hold, 2, and down. We're going to do 8 repetitions on each side. That's 3. The reason I have you hold just for a second or two is just to really kick in that muscle, the muscles in front of your thigh. Which is 6. Okay. 7. And then 8. If this is too easy, you can do again, you can increase the number of repetitions or keep that cuff weight, 1.5 to 2 pound weight on your ankle, around your ankle, and you can lift it up that way. If it's too hard, what you can do is just not lift your leg up quite as high. If you don't feel steady holding on with just one hand, you could turn towards the kitchen counter and hold that way so that you have 2 hand support. Very important to try to keep your back straight as you do that though and not lean forward. So the next exercise we're going to do is the sit to stand. And the purpose of this exercise, it's one of my favorite exercises, is it really helps to strengthen those quad and those hip muscles that we know as a part of normal aging get very weak. It's also very important for independence, being able to get up out of a chair, go to the bathroom, go to the kitchen, and do your daily activities. I'm going to show the modifications first before we do all the repetitions. So the way I'm instructing it is you're going to cross your hands, you're going to sit out to the edge of the chair, pull the feet back underneath you. Mary's going to lean forward and push up through her legs and stand up, hold for a second, and then sit back down. If this is too difficult, if you have armrests on your chair, if you need help a little bit with your hands, go ahead and push up with your hands, bring up, hold, 2, then reach back with your hands and sit down. We want to make sure that you don't plop into the chair. The other option that you can do at home is you can put something in the chair, such as a pillow or something, or a cushion. It's going to raise the chair up and will make it just a little bit easier. So go ahead, Mary. Again, you're going to come up this way. Makes it a little easier to start, and then once this gets easy, you can take that out and continue to build your strength. So let's go ahead and do the 5 repetitions. All right, so you're going to lift up, hold, and then down. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then sit back down. I have you hold just at the top just a little bit because that also works on your balance, because many people have trouble when they first stand up that they feel a little bit unsteady. So that actually works on strengthening as well as balance. If 5 repetition gets too easy, the modification you can do is just increase the number of repetitions. 10 to 15 is a great goal to be able to do that. The next exercise that we're going to do is called a seated knee straightener. Again, that strengthens the muscles on the front of your thigh. And again, its purpose is to help with walking, help with that push off as you go up the stairs. What Mary's going to do is she's going to straighten her knee, hold, 2, 3, and then down. Hold, 2, 3, and down. That's 2. We're going to do 5 repetitions of this, and down, and up, 2, 3, and down.
3, 2,
3, okay. This will be repetition number 4. 4, 2, 3, and down, and 1 more. If this is difficult, this is sometimes a challenging exercise for people if they have some knee pain. What you can do for modification is just don't go up quite as high and don't straighten out that knee all the way, but you can actually just kick it up a little bit and that will work that muscle in the front of your thigh. The other option you can do is slide forward, knee straight. You're just going to tighten the top of your thigh, hold for a count of 3, and then relax. It still works that quad muscle, but it does it in a way that doesn't stress the knee joint, and you can modify it that way. If you do these exercises and they're too easy, what you can do is, again, is increase the number of repetitions to 10 to 15, or if you have that 1.5 to 2 pound cuff weight, put it around your ankle and you can use that with the exercises. Normally you probably wouldn't progress the exercises until after you've done them for 2 to 3 weeks. Changes in strength really take about 3 weeks to see that noticeable change. The next exercise we're going to do is we're going to start working on some of the balance exercises. And the first one is called sideways walking. And the purpose of this exercise is it works on strengthening the muscles of the hips. That, again, we talk about lateral falls. It's a good preventative of that. But it also allows you to do things such as walking in a church pew, when you walk into a movie theater, being able to walk sideways, working in your kitchen when you're working from side to side, that you work on that balance and that strength. So what I'm going to have her do is she's going to hold on with her hands on like a kitchen counter or a table. She's going to walk sideways, again keeping her toes pointed forward, and then come back. What I'd like you to do is be able to do about 5 to 10 steps each direction. Depends on your kitchen counter, your table. And the modification with this be if this is too hard, then you would actually just maybe don't do as many steps. Just do 2 or 3 just to kind of work on that you can do that. If this is too easy and you want to work that balance and work that balance challenge, what you can do is just lift your hands up and kind of hover. So you've got it there if you need it, and then walk that way. The other thing that you could do is you could just take bigger steps. But as you do this exercise, you should start to feel it in your hip muscles when you work it from side to side. Okay, the next one that we're going to do is called heel-toe standing, or we call that tandem standing. The purpose of this exercise is to work on that balance reaction that we talked about, the eyes, the ears, and the feet. And so if someone would come near you and push you, or you're having to stand in a narrow base of support, this would work on that balance reaction. So how we do the exercise, Mary's going to hang on to the counter with one hand. The heel is backed up to the toe, and she's going to stand there and hold for a count of 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. She's going to switch feet. Again, you're going to hold 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, to make this more of a challenge, balance-wise, what I would have Mary do is lift her hand up or just lightly touch and do the same thing, holding for a count of 10. Let's go ahead and do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Switch feet. And again. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But she always has her hand there so that for safety wise she could touch down if she needed to with a finger. If that is too difficult, what we can do is what's called a half tandem. Maybe switch your feet this way. There we go. A little bit more, kind of come together like that. And that, so it's not quite as challenging, you could do a half tandem and do the exact same exercise. If that is still too challenging, just stand with your feet together and just try to balance that way. But as I said, it's very good for that postural reaction. If that was too easy doing the tandem, another challenge that you can do with it, this is more of an upper level, but I'd have Mary just turn her head from side to side. I'm just going to spot her a little bit. And then she could turn her head up and down. And you can see it's making her work her legs, but that's good. That's what we want to do, is get those stronger for her balance. The next exercise, and this is our last one, it's called a split stance standing exercise. I'm going to have you face the camera. There we go. All right, and then she's going to hold her hands out like she's holding a ball. So you want your feet about the distance apart that you're probably in a walking one. The importance of this exercise is that this will be an exercise that when you're working in the kitchen and you're moving from side to side, or if you're working in your yard and you're raking leaves and doing things from side to side, that you have that balance and postural reaction. So what Mary's going to do is she's going to turn to the right, hold for a count of 3, 1, 2, 3, come back to center, and then hold, 2, 3, come back to center. And then I want her to switch her feet so that it will challenge it in a little different way. Again, do the exact same 3, 1, 2, 3, back to center, and 1, 2, 3. If this is too easy, you could actually be holding something versus a pretend ball. Maybe hold on to a real ball or something that has a little bit of weight, because that will change your balance perspective. If this also is too easy, you could just do a couple repetitions of that. Or what I'd have Mary do again is do some of the head turns. Turn her head from side to side, and then head up and down. If this is too difficult, just the regular exercise, what I'd have Mary do is turn sideways and hang on to the table and stand in that split stance and just hold on to the table and hold for a count of 5 seconds, and then shift her feet and do that again. But again, this would be important if you think about your walking position, to be able to walk safely and not feel unsteady. And so those are the balance and strengthening exercises that we would like you to try. If you have any questions, just talk to your instructor. Even though our goal is fall prevention, there may be a time that you experience a fall, and we'd like to demonstrate to you how to get up from the floor from a fall. So I'm going to have Mary pretend that she has fallen down on the floor. So one of the first things that you want to do when you fall is not panic. Take a nice deep breath and relax, and look around at your surroundings. Look for the possibility of a very sturdy chair that you could use to get up. If you have experienced, and you feel like you've experienced an injury, and you have a lifeline or a cell phone, go ahead and use that and just wait for help. But if you feel like you can get up, what you want to do is bend both knees up to about 90 degrees, and then you're going to turn your head and move your legs in the direction you want to roll. So you're going to roll onto your side, and then you're going to take your arm, your top arm, push yourself up and get on your side. Pause there a moment, kind of catch your breath, and get what we say, get your wits about you. Then go on your hands and knees, and then you're going to crawl over to the chair. You're going to put your hands on the chair and then bend up one knee, and then you're going to make a turn and slip your hips up on the chair. Then again, always just pause, take a deep breath, and make sure that you haven't experienced any injury. But this would be the way that you could try to get up from a fall.
So just remember that falls are preventable.
We hope that you will do these balance and strengthening exercises. Remember, the goal is to age successfully. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Falls can be prevented. Falls are the most common cause of injuries and hospital visits for all age groups. They cause fractures, head injuries, and even death. They are very costly. They can be prevented by making a few simple changes. We are going to show you 8 tips for fall prevention. Tip number 1, exercise regularly. Exercise builds strength and improves your coordination and balance. Pay attention to fall prevention exercises are designed to help reduce your risk of falling. Tip number 2, fall-proof your home. Keep walking areas and stairs clear. Use non-slip mats in the bathtub and shower. Have grab bars and handrails installed as needed. Tip number 3, know your medications. Ask your health care provider or pharmacist if any of your medicines can make you more at risk of falling. Review your medications with your providers regularly. Always take medications as directed.
Tip number 4, look out for yourself. Vision plays a role in stabilizing balance. Have your eyes and glasses checked regularly. Tip number 5, stay safe while walking. Take your time. Use heel-to-toe walking technique. Be aware of your surroundings. Scan ahead and look for uneven surfaces. Tip number 6, wear sturdy, well-fitting shoes. Low-heel shoes with non-slip soles are the best. These are safer than high heels, thick-soled athletic shoes, slippers, or stocking feet. Tip number 7, light the way. Make sure you have good lighting in and outside of your home. Use night lights to light the path between your bedroom and bathroom.
And final tip number 8, get support when needed. Support can be short-term or ongoing. Support includes assistive devices like canes or walkers, help around the house, or an emergency response system in case you do fall. So let's review the 8 tips. Exercise regularly, fall-proof your home, know your medications, have your vision checked, use safe walking techniques, wear sturdy, well-fitting shoes, light the way at home and outside, and finally get support if needed.